So hi guys, today I'm going to answer all the activities in chapter 4. So first, let's find activity in chapter 4. So the first activity in chapter 4 is in page 4135 entitled Physical Layer Terminology. So in the instruction, it says here that description of the physical layer are provided in a table. Drag each physical layer term to its description. So the term here are the fiber optic, bandwidth, throughput, copper, and wireless. So there are in the physical layer description there are media that uses pattern or microwaves to represent bits and so on. So I think in the bandwidth, the one is typically measured kilobits per second, megabits per second, or gigabits per second. So I think in the bandwidth, um, it's the capacity of a medium to carry data. And so I'm familiar with the word that the term that is in here, the fiber optic and the copper. The fiber optic, it is uses the pattern of light, and the copper it uses electrical pulses. So in here, I can see that there is sentence says that media that uses pattern of light to represent bits, it's a fiber optic, and media that uses electrical pulses to represent bits, it's the copper. So next is for the throughput. There are many factors that influence throughput, like the amount of traffic, the type of traffic. So in the throughput, it's a measure of transfer of bits across the media. So it's in here. And the wireless, for the last one, the media that uses patterns of microwaves to represent bits. So let's check if it's correct. Now, let's proceed to another activity. So let's find another activity. Okay. So the next activity is in the page 4217, copper media characteristics. So the instruction, it says here that UTP, STP, and crucial copper media characteristics are provided in a table. Click the appropriate field to match the characteristic to the media type. So there are UTP, STP, and crucial. So the STP, in the STP, or the shielded twisted pair, the shield act as an antenna and pick up unwanted wires. And for the UTP, or unshielded twisted um, pair, used for interconnecting hosts with intermediate networking devices such as switches and routers. For the crucial, it gets the name from the fact that there are two conductors that share the same axis. So in the number one, attaches antennas to wireless device can be bundled with a fiber optic cabling for two-way data transmission. So I think it's crucial. For the number two, counters EMI and RFI by using shielding techniques and special connectors. From the word itself, shielding, it's shielding twisted pair. And the third is the most common network media. So the most common network media is the unshielded twisted pair. Terminates with BNC, N-type, and F-type connectors. So I think it's um duck cushion. So let's check if it's correct. So it's correct. Now, it's going to find another activities in this chapter. So this third activity is in page 4226 titled Cable Pinouts. So in the instruction, it says here that correctly align the wire colors to build a TIA EIA 568A cable pinout. Drag each wire color to its correct placement on the RJ45 image. So as you can see, it's like by fair, and I need to put it in the right position. So in the T568A pin out. So for the T568A, I think this is the first one color. This. For this activity, yeah. So this, so this. Let's check. So yeah, it's correct. And there are figure two. So in the figure two, it's again by fair, but it's in T568B pin out. So like what I did on I first it's like switching position between the orange and the green one, but but the rest are in the same position. So as you can see, the blue one and the brown one is in their same position, but the green and the orange one exchange. So let's check. Oh no, I put it in the wrong. My bad. It's should. So yeah. So it's right. So now let's find another activity in chapter 4. So find another activity. So not the next activity is in the page 4237 entitled Fiber Optics Terminology. So in the instruction, it says here that description of fiber optic media are provided in the table. Click the appropriate field to match the description to the fiber optic cable type. So all I know in the single mode, it's the single mode, it is small core, um, less dispersion, suited for long distance application, and commonly used with campus. And for the multi-mode, it is larger than the single mode cable, and allow greater dispersion, and commonly used with LANs or local area networks, and suited for long distance, but shorter than single mode. So for other So for the number one, I have to choose between multi-mode and single mode. So for the number one, can help data travel approximately 1.24 miles or 2 km to 2,000 miles. So I think it's multi-mode. Uses light emitting diodes, LEDs as light source transmitter. So multi-mode. Uses laser in a so from the word itself, single stream as a data light source transmitter, single mode, definitely. Used to connect long distance telephony and cable table application, it's single mode. Can travel approximately 62.5 miles or 100 kilometers to um is it 100,000 meters. So I think it's single mode. For the number 6, use within a campus network, multi-mode. So let's check. So yeah, it's correct. And let's check if. So yeah. Now let's find another activity in this chapter. So find another activity. So the other activity is in page 4443 and entitled Generic Frame Fields. So let's check. For this activity, it says here that drag the generic frame fields to its correct location on the diagram. So yeah. It's the header and I think it's in the packet and it's the trailer. So for the frame start and the frame stop, it is used to the frame start and the frame stop used to identify the beginning and the beginning and the end limits of the frame. And the addressing it's indicate the source and destination nodes on the media. And for the detection, of course, the error detection used for error, yeah, error detection used for the error detections. And for the control, yeah, packet data, of course, it's in here. So type, I think it's the type first before the control. So the control, it identifies the flow control such as quality of service, and the type identify the layer 3 protocol in the data field. So going to check if it's correct. So yeah, it's correct. Now it has figure 2. So let's answer another. So the instruction says that drag and drop the generic frame field to its description again. So the term here is in the previous, in the figure 1. So marks the end of the frame, like what I said on, I think it's frame stop indicator plug. From what I said, it's used to identify the frame stop and frame start, used to identify the um, beginning and the end limits of the frame. So for the control, like what I said, specify flow control, control itself, service. Um, so like what I said earlier, identify source and destination host. So it's addressing, of course. So identify the layer 3 protocol used by the LCC. Of course, it's the type, which identifies the type. Contains the IP header, transport layer, PDU, and data. I think it's data. So let's check if it's correct. So yeah, it's correct. So so we are now so now I'm going to find another activity in this chapter. So I think that's all the activity in chapter 4. So thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you learn all about I hope you learn chapter 4. All the activities in chapter 4 that I answered.